what's up you guys? Okay, so today I'm going to take a quiz on if I am a sexist. So I had to go through this and see kind of what we saw. So I read this article. Here's the first question of 17 to determine if I am a sexist. Many women have qualities of purity that few men possess. Do they have qualities of purity? I mean, I somewhat agree, just because they're really good at persuading me to do stuff. That I'll give women. Women should be cherished and protected by men. I do agree there. If you hit a woman, you are an asshole. I do not think that you should ever hit women. I'm not a woman beater. I'm not the guy that's gonna like punch somebody in the face just because I'm mad at them. Anyways, even if they're not a girl. I mean, I might sometimes do it if they're like a savage and you can't reason with savages. Remember that. You cannot reason with a savage. But if it's a girl, the answer is no. Women seek to gain power by gaining control over men. So guys do the same thing. It's called business. It's a ladder. You gotta climb it. So if I agree with this, does that count against me? Probably. But the way that they're implying that we're manipulated by women, it depends. You see, whenever women are in the workforce, there's sex involved. And if there's sex involved, you know what that means. You're not getting that promotion. I agree slightly, but I wouldn't be so opposed to women in the workplace. I just think it's putting men at a disadvantage simply because of sex. Every man ought to have a woman he adores. Absolutely. If you're happy with the girl of your life, I strongly encourage it. Jake Paul's video, link right here. You gotta check this out. The guy made the coolest music video with his girlfriend. I'm super happy for him. I wish him the best. Strongly agree. Men are incomplete without women. Yeah, I think that without women, you wouldn't be able to live up to your fullest potential. I think that everybody kind of wants the house, the wife, the kids, and the dog because they need that sense of belonging. And if women fit in that picture, that's A-okay with me. Strongly agree. Women exaggerate problems they have at work. No, I don't agree with that because, you know, whenever it comes to day-to-day tasks, which is 90% of the problems that you're gonna have, you know, I don't see how women are any different than men. But when it comes to like sexual harassment or something, yeah, I mean, I'm from the restaurant industry, so it happens all the time. And I've been sexually harassed myself too, and I'm a guy. In fact, I've actually been fired because I wouldn't have sex with my manager at one point. That was a long time ago though. And then there was another time that I wouldn't go out with the girl, so she also fired me. It's like, it goes both ways. It's like some people seem to think that women are the only ones that get harassed or required to put out for a job. It's like, no, I've had that happen to me too. So I think that I could exaggerate it a lot too, but I mean, you just don't hear guys saying that because we're guys, you know, like women never really, they're not treated the same way as if a guy was sexually harassed versus if a girl was sexually harassed. Once a woman gets a man to commit to her, she usually tries to put him on a tight leash. I disagree, and I say that because if you can't trust your spouse, you can't have a relationship with them. It's pretty simple. So if there is a relationship there, there's usually a good amount of trust. If there's not a relationship there, then it's probably revolving around money. And you can't have a relationship that revolves around money. It just doesn't work out in the long run. So, does she put a tight leash on him? More than likely not, but there are some that probably will. So I'm going to say disagree strongly. When women lose to men in fair competition, they typically complain about being discriminated against. No, I think that there are certain political groups that have encouraged women to do that. Mostly just feminism. I think that they've encouraged women to think that there's gender involved, even if there's not. That's just the first thing they presume when they get all offended. So, honestly, I don't think that's the case. I strongly disagree. Next question. Many women get a kick out of teasing men by seeming sexually available and then they're refusing meal demand. Somewhat, but no, because I think society over time has slowly made them look a little bit more like they just really want to have sex with you by the way they dress. I mean, if you remember 1960s, there was a time whenever women were fully clothed and they looked a little bit more like this versus a little bit more like this, what you see now. And slowly, it's kind of turned a little bit more like a gradient. It started here with these really nice, respectably dressed women, and then slowly but surely the clothes start coming off, and you wind up with what we have today. And that's why you see a lot of terrorist attacks in the Middle East whenever all these women show up there to promote that kind of stuff, because it's kind of inappropriate for the family. I mean, it's fun, I'm sure, but they're not exactly going to be the best wives. In fact, I kind of strongly oppose finding a wife that is a skank, because I don't know if she's going to cheat on me or not, like what happened with Jake Paul and Alyssa Violet. As far as being sexually available and then refusing male advantages, I strongly disagree. I really don't think that it has anything to do with her choice. Women compared to men tend to have a superior moral sensibility. Do women compared to men have a superior sense of moral sensibility? Comparing the two is a bad idea. I don't even want to answer the question because it's just going to upset one side and one side's going to get happy. I'm just going to kind of stay... I disagree slightly. I think they're both immoral at this point because nobody cared when the crack smoking mayor of Canada went out there. And, you know, it's just, but are women more morally stable than men? I don't think it's either way. I think it just depends on each individual character. There's no way to really... That's not a group, you know? Like, you can't really gauge that, so... Disagree. Men should be willing to sacrifice their own well-being in order to financially provide for the women in their lives. You know, it depends on your financial situation. If you have the money and she needs it to pay her student loan debt back, or because she needs money for the kids, then by all means. But if it's just so she can have a Ferrari, then no. So disagree somewhat. Feminists are making unreasonable demands of men. I think that they're not so much making progress towards gender equality just by demanding men to do things, and then when they don't do it, they get pissed off. It's like, I disagree with that. So, here. Hostile sexism describes your behavior that overly threatens or intimidates or abuses women, especially those who defy male-dominated power. Hostile sexism. 1. I got 1. Average guys are 2 and 2.4, okay? The average woman is 1.6. So I scaled less than women. Yet everybody says I'm a sexist. Doing all this. So, benevolent sexism perpetuates gender-based prejudice more subtly, feeding the notion that women need men to help and protect them and ultimately justify gender inequality. Your score, 3.67. Average man, 2.3. Average woman, 2. Benevolent sexism. Okay, so kind sexism. In other words, that they're wonderful but they're weak. Okay, so basically what that tells me is I think that you should protect women, which I think is a good thing. I honestly do think that if the Titanic was sinking, you need to get the women and children out before you save the men, because, let's face it, they can swim a lot farther and they can hold themselves up a lot longer than the women and the children can, just because they're stronger. So, yeah, I think that you need to look out for the women because they're kind of reactable and they usually jump on the level that their men are on. So if somebody's robbing your house, I don't foresee the women exactly standing up because of personal obligations to society to appear weaker and more feminine than opposed to a man who's probably the first one to get a gun and to shoot him, because that's just his nature. Our nature is to shoot people just for fun. I mean, shoot, I did all that BB gun war stuff in high school, and it was a blast. I mean, it was just our nature to do. And I didn't really see very many women out there, so yeah, I think it would be best if we protected women. So, yeah. Okay, cool. So there we go. There you have it. I guess I'm not really such a bad sexist guy. All right, wow. So yeah, thanks guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, click the like button, subscribe, and as always, I'll see you next week.